Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Utility Sports. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something super serious, actually, that is coming over the NBA world at the moment we're speaking here in this video. Before we jump into that, I'm going to urge you guys to hit that like button and also subscribe to support Utility Sports. And now let's get into it here with what Jordan Schultz is reporting here on Twitter. He is verified. He says, breaking. The NBA is preparing for a massive story accusing Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver of racism, sexism, and sexual harassment in a series of incidences, sources say. With enough evidence to support such claims, there's a real chance the league would forcibly remove Sarver from the NBA. This happened previously. There's a former NBA owner. He was the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. That was Donald Sterling. In 2014, he got forcibly removed from the NBA as the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. He got a lifetime ban, had a massive fine, suspension, and then, of course, led into that lifetime ban, where that really overcame the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin Clippers for quite some time. And I don't think that there's a worse time that this could possibly come out for Phoenix. You know, they just brought in Chris Paul again for a long-term deal after he had opted out. The Suns just had made the NBA Finals, and now you're putting this huge cloud over the Phoenix Suns organization. Robert Sarver, very well known throughout Phoenix Suns fans, throughout NBA circles, as someone who has had problems in the past with some of his social aspects, as being a very prominent person in the NBA world as the owner of the Phoenix Suns. I don't have a ton of evidence myself on Robert Sarver here. I'm just reporting on the news that Robert Sarver could potentially be out as Phoenix Suns owner if forcibly removed from the NBA. My thoughts on this process, it's going to take some time. We're not going to see this happen overnight. It'll take a couple of months is my guess. However, with the way that the world has transitioned, with how quickly John Gruden got basically removed from his job, I know he technically resigned, but with how quickly he moved on from the Raiders at that point, and kind of how the culture has changed around America, I think this will go a lot quicker and a lot more swiftly than it did with Donald Sterling with the Los Angeles Clippers, because of how much more of a prominent issue it has been made in the media today, especially when you have accounts of racism, sexism, and sexual harassment. Those are some really, really serious allegations that need to be dealt with force and with swiftness from the NBA. And I expect Adam Silver to handle these aspects very, very quickly and very professionally in a manner that is best for the NBA. Now, when it comes to Robert Sarver, Suns fans probably know him best for not being an owner that's willing to really open the pocketbook, someone who doesn't love to spend money. So it was surprising to me when he was willing to hand out that deal to Chris Paul. But of course, DeAndre Ayton never got his extension. DeAndre Ayton, now entering the final year of his rookie deal, will enter restricted free agency next year. And there's a lot that could go right or wrong in that pathway. He could even pick up a qualifying offer up to $17 million. That changes kind of the Phoenix Suns' long-term outlook, where he might be only there for one more year if he picks that up, and they might have to look at trading him. Having bad player relations goes a long way in the NBA, especially when you're trying to really build up a competitive team long-term. And Robert Sarver, there's been a lot of questions about him in the last decade or so, about his ability to be a good owner that's player-friendly. And then accounts of this coming out of racism, sexism, and sexual harassment also are not good for that player relationship standpoint, and also just front office business in general. Remember, you need to be a good person, honestly, a lot of the time, in order to find success in some areas. Being rude to people, being a negative person, ends up coming back to bite you. And if there are real cases and evidence here of him sexually harassing women or even men potentially, remember, sexual harassment could go both ways for Robert Sarver here. That's making a very, very negative workplace environment. Sexism is not okay in the workplace at all. And honestly, Robert Sarver, when you're the lead person, the owner of an organization, it's on you to really set a good precedent. This is why Gershon Rosas got fired from the Minnesota Timberwolves as president of basketball operations because of some of his workplace conduct. Robert Sarver here, this is a much more serious case of that even. And the NBA is going to act very swiftly. And then, of course, racism. It's a predominantly African-American league when you're looking at the players. About 85%, I believe, or so are African-American. And having negative views towards people of different race than you leads to problems and conflict in the workplace. Robert Sarver, this is going to be a serious issue. I'm hoping it doesn't cast too much of a cloud over the Phoenix Suns season. Chris Paul just seems like he can't get away from this, unfortunately. He was there in Los Angeles during the Donald Sterling drama, and now he's there in Phoenix during the Robert Sarver drama. Hopefully this doesn't take away too much from their season. I think that they could possibly make a run back to the NBA Finals. Suns fans, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. There's going to be a lot of negative media publicity, but hopefully it gets dealt with swiftly and correctly in a way that Robert Sarver, if with real evidence, is removed from the NBA as the owner of the Phoenix Suns. There's just no room for this type of behavior in society. It's better to just be kind and spread positivity than to really bring in hate and act that way in public, especially when you're trying to run an organization and making billions of dollars doing it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Robert Sarver in the comment section. Very, very sad news to have to report on today, but I do think it's worth a video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Also subscribe if you're new. Phoenix Suns fans, we'll see how this season impacts your guys' roster and team moving forward, and we'll catch you guys in the very next Utility Sports video.